Good morning, everyone. It's Miss Turnbull, and today I'm going to start assembly with a question. What do we celebrate in the month of February? You can pause here and take a minute to discuss with your tutor group if you want to. So, in February, we have Valentine's Day, we have Shrove Tuesday, also known as Pancake Day, and of course, we have half term. Sometimes we also have a leap year. But every February in the UK since 2005 is also LGBT History Month. It celebrates the lives and achievements of the LGBT community, to celebrate diversity and to challenge discrimination. LGBT is an acronym standing for lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender, just 4 of the many labels used by the community at large. So here I've got the definition of these 4 terms for you, just in case you were unsure. So a lesbian is a woman who's emotionally and or physically attracted to other women. Someone who's gay is a man who's emotionally and or physically attracted to other men, but some women can also use this label if they want to. Bisexual is someone who is emotionally and or physically attracted to women and men. And transgender is an umbrella term used to describe someone whose gender identity or expression is different from the gender they were assigned at birth. Now, it's important not only in February to celebrate our diversity, as there are LGBT people in every community across the entire world. This year's theme is Body, Mind and Spirit, and highlights historical figures who have faced adversity and contributed greatly to the wider world. So why is LGBT History Month important? Well, it highlights the positive achievements by the community and presents a wider range of role models for people to be inspired by, and to celebrate how diverse our society truly is. It's also a good way of uncovering people's history that have been hidden because of prejudices towards different minority groups through time. So today I want to look at 2 people who are faces of this year's LGBT History Month. And to start off with, I'm going to talk a little bit about Lily Parr. She's born in April 1905, and she is a very keen footballer. She also played rugby when she was younger as well. But her football career began at just 14. Now, she had a fantastic football career at a time where women's football is starting to get a little bit more popular. But later in life, she trained as a nurse, and whilst working at a hospital, she met her partner Mary. The 2 bought a house and lived together, and they point blank refused to hide their relationship, despite it being socially unacceptable to be lesbian at this time. Now, I've got a little video to show you the impact that Lily Parr made, but also the impact that she still has today in 2021.
Lily Parr scored almost 1,000 goals in her football career, and I play for Nosey St Helens and dream of coming close to that. I hope one day that I will play for England and follow Lily Parr's footsteps.
We're really excited about being able to celebrate the life and achievements of Lily Parr. We've always recognised her as a pioneer of the women's game, and we inducted her into our Hall of Fame in 2002. Lily played football at a time of huge change in the women's game, when women's football really captured the public imagination. Games attracted huge crowds, and women's first international matches were being played. Like women before and after her, Lily used her tenacity, skill and passion for the game to help make sure that despite some of the negative attitudes of her time, women's football survived and went on to thrive.
As a trans woman, it's important to see pioneers like Lily Parr being celebrated for what she represented to women and girls in the game. As campaign lead for Football v Transphobia, I look back on the ban on women players 100 years ago, and it feels just as antiquated as I hope restrictions on trans people competing will one day appear. I'm delighted to see a woman and a footballer like Lily Parr be chosen as a hero for LGBT History Month, because I think she is and will continue to be a huge inspiration to generations of girls.
In our collection at the National Football Museum, in addition to the statue of Lily Parr, we've got lots of objects that relate to her and the Dick Kerr ladies. Lily Parr's legacy lives on. Her colours are still worn by Knowsley St Helens girls, and they wear her close to their hearts. There's also many players who compete in her honour. For example, the London Lesbian Kickabouts, who in 2007, as part of LGBT plus History Month, started the Lily Parr tournament. At the National Football Museum, we absolutely adore showing objects that relate to Lily Parr. She's such an inspiration, not only to young girls and women and others that want to play football now, but to everybody who enjoys football. Her tenacity, her spirit, the fact that she continued to play football in spite of the restrictions by the Football Association, just say everything about what football means to people and why it's so important for people to play. She is one of the women that played in the 1920s, but she stands for all of the women that campaigned and fought to play football in her generation and since.
Okay. The second person I also want to talk a little bit about is Alan Turing, who you may have heard of before. So Alan Turing is born in June 1912, and he's a mathematician, he's a computer scientist, he's a cryptanalyst as well. So very, very intelligent man. And during World War II, he developed a machine that was used by Britain to decode the coded military messages that Germany was sending to various military, navy, or Luftwaffe bases. This was, a key turning point in the war. By 1943, Turing's machines cracked around 84,000 Enigma messages a month. That's about 2 messages per minute. And there are some historians that feel like because of this, it helped to shorten World War II by about 2 years. Unfortunately, despite everything that he did for his country during the war, Alan Turing is criminalized. He's labeled as a criminal because he is also gay. And unfortunately, Alan Turing dies. He's poisoned with cyanide. Members of his family argue that it was an accidental poisoning and that he didn't actually commit suicide. But Alan Turing definitely faced a lot of discrimination because of who he was, despite the fantastic effort he put into helping us to win World War II. Now, every Wednesday at 4 to 5, myself and Samina run the LGBT plus allies group. So if you're interested in joining us, maybe finding out more about LGBT History Month, please contact myself or Samina to give you the Google Classroom code. If you want to look at some more key figures for LGBT History Month, this web address that I have currently on the screen is a place of resources for you to look at, things to get involved in if you are interested. Now, Maya Angelou is also one of the faces of LGBT History Month this year, and I'm going to leave you with a summary of who she is and one of her most famous poems, And Still I Rise.
Hi, I'm Olivette Cole-Wilson, and I'm here on behalf of Haringey Vanguard. Maya Angelou was a formidable woman, multi-talented actress, writer, public speaker, all sorts of things, poet, of course, who had suffered adversity but had come up through that and was a force to be reckoned with. The first time I read Maya Angelou, I was probably in my early 20s. I think it was her poetry that I first discovered before the books, the novels. And of course, Still I Rise and Phenomenal Woman are the two main poems that stand out for me. I'm really excited that Maya Angelou is going to be the 2021 icon for LGBT History Month. And I think it's important for young children to realise that they can be who they want to be and they can do and achieve so many great things. And I think her works are really inspirational. Now I'd like to read you a bit of one of Maya Angelou's poems, a really famous one, And Still I Rise. It really encompasses that thought, that feeling that you have to be who you are. And even if people try and put you down and they criticize you or whatever it is, I think it's really important to rise above the adversities. And so that's why I think this poem is a great poem for everybody. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me down in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.